So recently I've learned full U ZBLL, and by learning I mean that I can see the case, recognize it, and execute the alg in a real solve. And this is the favorable state of learning a ZBLL set, which ensures that the cases aren't in your muscle memory. However, I found on YouTube that there's not that much content revolving around the specifics of learning ZBLL, like how to drill the algorithm into your muscle memory. So I'll just talk about what I learned from learning UZB and what mindset you should be to learn ZBLL. For example, this case. If you don't know what ZBLL is, it's basically when you have a cross on top and you do an alg to solve the whole cube. So the first point has been discussed a lot, but it's extremely important, and that is to use an algorithm trainer because it'll ensure that the algorithm is in your muscle memory. And with enough practice on the trainer, they can be the algs will become natural to you, and it's very rare that you'll get the ZBLL case you're practicing in a real solve. So using an alg trainer ensures that it is practiced more. So just like this, I'll just demonstrate. So this is a random scramble from an alg trainer, and I'll just apply that to my cube, and now I've got a ZBLL case. And now I just recognize it and then do the case, and then I can actually time this on the timer, so it is really convenient for learning ZBLL. And I'll link my favorite alg trainer in the description. Another important problem I have encountered while learning this is the angle of the alg. And even if I learn the alg, I need to execute it at the right angle. And people often don't talk about this. But I'm really confused because I have various cases where I did the right alg, but the case is still not solved. And so I solved this problem by associating the angle with blocks on the case. For example, this case right here has the block facing me, so I'll just do the case. Sorry for family members because it's an open desk. And also, for example, this case, I have a block on the right, so I'll just know that I'll execute it with the block on the right. So I usually associate that with blocks, and if there are no blocks, I look for more obscure patterns like checker patterns and associating edges. And this has made me more efficient at learning these algs, and I recommend that to learn these angles first before drilling these algs to your muscle memory. Again, and also the main part most people complain is that 72 algs per set, and it is. I agree, it is a lot. I would advise to learn and digest each set slowly. So each ZBLL set is divided based on the COLL corner patterns. And by the way, learn COLL before ZBLL. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this video is probably not for you. But which is usually 6 per subset, and that gives us which is usually 6, and which means that gives 12 algs in each subset based on the COLL cases. So my pace is to learn about 3 to 4 algs a day with the upper limit of 6. So for example, I've been learning TZBLL, and the first case, I'll have this type of corner pattern where these two match and these two are adjacent. So I'll just learn about 3 to 4 a day. For example, today I learned these 4 algorithms, and I'll just practice them in a very specific way, which I'll talk about soon. But first I need to... I think I forgot that alg. So that actually happens because for this alg, I just newly learned it and I have not trained it enough. And that is because the learning process at this rate is best at this rate because it's very complex. First, you need to learn the angles, as I said before. Second, you need to span the algs over and over again to ensure that you can execute them with your eyes closed at maximum speed. And third, train them on a ZBLL trainer, which I have talked about. And this may take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, which is optimal since you have to do other stuff and cubing stuff, which is the right amount to learn new algs. So I once tried to learn a subset a day when I first started learning, and I cannot wrap my head around it. So that's a problem that I encountered that I just wanted to give advice so that you won't encounter when you learn your own ZBLL sets. And so keep in mind that the more algs you learn, it is also easier to learn other ones, and you can hasten the pace later on. But if you're just starting out, learn 3 to 4 algs a day. And I'll leave a link to my favorite ZBLL algorithms, and I'll see you again in part 2 for some more tips to learn ZB.